So team, welcome back. Day 5 for our core Java training. Let's go back, take a look at what we did in day 4. That will also help us accomplish what we can do further. I believe I gave an assignment, but before we go there and get worried, let's continue with this. I'm going to close all of these programs that we opened, team. Some of them are not open. See, you see this out here in Eclipse. There's a save and save all. If I'm on a current specific Java class or program, I can save that. If I want to save all that are open, you're opening like multiple tabs of whatever changes you can do. Then you click save all. So as you get deeper into these Java projects in general, you have to be cautious, team. Sometimes you're not changing all the programs at the same time. Sometimes you're changing them. And when you're changing, you may not want to save all of it. So you have to be cautious, one step at a time. That is what is called as incremental learning. And I don't know if I was speaking about it also. Incremental programming. So, take it one step at a time. It is okay to slow down. If you know that your career needs it and that there's an easy way to learn, maybe a long, but it's easy. It's not tough, team. Programming is not tough. It is just for us to put our hands down. The second thing that I will promote, team, is called mob programming. And at least for the JPAC members, I want to make sure that we do some mob programming sessions. What happens in this is we are doing group programming together. Like I'm showing you examples of how I'm doing simple things. Same way we can talk about larger projects where each of us come like an agile team, instead of just meeting and taking notes, going back to our desks and then developing, coming back next day and then talking, okay, what did we do? We're talking, why don't we sit down, open up the code, all of us, and see what's there and start fixing it right away, then and there. So there's a BA who's doing something, there's a QA who's doing something, there's a CI/CD or a DevOps person who's doing something, there's an automation engineer who's doing something. All of them sitting together in the same room or on the same online software. So that is a little bit about mob programming. Just a brief, we'll do a lot more about it. Okay, don't want to deviate, but sometimes I love to share what I know, which is more current with today's world. And I think it's going to be a dynamic change. There's no more that, oh, you know what, if you know the skills, okay, there's some optional, some mandatory. You need to do a good preparation. Every one of us need to do a solid preparation. I'm going to help you do it, team. So, okay, so first program, all of this, we good. For loop, remember how we were doing it? And how we went through if statements. We did this weekend thing about Monday. If I give Monday, what happens? If I give Tuesday, then what will happen to this, and so on. Then we have the for loop, where I said how we can loop through. Yesterday, I believe we did the multiplication table. Isn't that correct, everyone? Now, there are some assignments that I want to do a little bit more advanced onto these. I'll take you, keep guiding you. Team, I want you to be interactive. Can you do that to me on the chat? And if there are questions that are coming up, please raise your hand. Can I have that? Yes. Thank you. Because team, I need to also understand how far you're learning. It's not a one-way teaching. I want you to be able to follow along with me. Okay, great. So what did we do in multiplication table? Let us look at the flow itself, team. The window size, okay, let's resize so that I can see things a little bit more clearly. So I have my class, under that I have my main method. Okay, it's called a method. You're gonna maybe getting a chance to look at functions, the basic 101s of functions today. Now, the main method, I have 3 declared variables. How did I get to this? My requirement is given a number, print multiples till 20 times of it. Expected output is 12 star 1, so and so. In fact, I can add one more here and say dots, just to say that's a following order. And at any time, I change this input to maybe 324. And how many number of times I want to repeat also is there. And I execute this, and it should be able to give us the results. So that's the power of a program, that I can do incredible amount of calculations in a very, very short span of time, as long as you teach this Java as to what it should do. End of the day, team, let us not forget that we're sitting out here as a human, and then we have our simple laptop here with all the applications, or even the smartphones. I'm actually showing a flip phone. Moto X Flip phone was supposed to come. I don't know what happened to it. But what I'm trying to say is, for us to communicate, it's all zeros and ones. Remember, I was talking about these. So Java language helps us to do it. I lost the thought a little bit. So for us to be able to do this using calculator and so on becomes a lot of editing. End of the day, it is data, information. That is the key. Once the data and information is right, all of this can set well. So you are the trainer. These programs will do fantastic job. There's no question about it. Very rarely will you find that, Java language failed me. There's an error or a defect in it. And that's great. If you can find it, report it in the community. The next release will get that fixed. That's how fast things can be there. But what can it do on your application is all depending on you. If you give good instructions, then great. If you give average instructions, then it will give you average results. Bad instructions will give you a failure. So it is our programming. Now, I want you to keep that in the back of the mind as we progress a little bit more today. So yesterday, I was also talking about, so that's the multiplication table. Let's look at the printed tree. Did someone get a chance to work on this? If you have not, I'll give you one more day, team. Require output display as a Christmas tree. I don't think I finished this. I'll just talk about what I want. Rows is that, and width of the tree. So that should be able to give us, team. This is an assignment. Oh, nice, Suma. Okay. And I want to look at it. But before that, I want to cover a few more topics, team, that will help us to get into the next things. But it's nice to, okay, how many others have covered printed tree, this assignment? What I'm saying is I need to print this. So if I say so, and the first time I need to print so many spaces and a star. And the next time this changes each time. I'm kind of following the pattern above. So delete 2, add 2 stars. Then one more, delete, oops. So no. So this, okay, actually, no, I'm missing something. Like this. So how do we automate this? Actually, I'm trying to jump because I wanted to cover topics, but since some of the members made some progress, I thought let's take a look at it. So if I run this now, for example, I don't know if it's the right shape. This looks more like it. This actually looks more like it. Any questions, team? I'll come to this exercise, but I want you to get a perspective of it, how we can parameterize. Let's do that, team. A few of you have done it, so why don't we look at what you've done? I'm showing you from a non-programming perspective. This is hard coding. Now here I know there are 1, 2, 3, 4, so and so, so much size. And the width is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Up to 9 stars on the tree. And I have maybe whatever remaining here. So team, then what I'll do is let me make quickly. Can you raise your hands? Whoever mentioned you've done some progress on it. Then I want to take a look at while loop. So while you raise your hands, please. Okay, great, thank you. I've got 3 hands raised. So team, what we were doing earlier in day 14, sorry, in day 4 was while loop as well. So I need to kind of take you through this a little bit further. I would, but let's do this activity with the team members first. Kunal, you raised your hand and put it down. Should I make you a presenter? Let me know if yes, please. And team, please don't be scared. This is a great opportunity to just showcase what we'll be doing to clarify your doubts. Making you presenter, please. Hi.
Hello.
Yes, I can.
Okay. First, like I was able to do a little bit, and then I took
Sorry.
help from the Google.
Closer to the mic. Your sound is a little not that.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Perfect. Yes.
Okay. So first, initially, like I was able to print it. It's like in a sequence in one side, but later then I little Googled it, so I got the actual thing. So, right, let me just run it and show you.
You want to do me okay. Sure. That's nice output. I don't even know that if I ever Googled it and found such a thing, that print a Christmas tree. I didn't know if it was existing. I just thought, how do we print? It'll be a good exercise. So it's nice to see. And team, absolutely thumbs up for the fact that we can Google and find a solution. Totally acceptable. Do not hesitate.
Yeah.
At least during training, teams, in projects and so on, do it offline maybe, but trainings don't take it on. Great work. Can you walk us through the code and what the logic is once?
Yeah, here it says like I'm using it for loop here. Int I is equals to 0, I is less than 10, and I plus plus. So and then like if I give J, so it's going to reverse order. So basically I tried it by using first by printing the value of I, so it was giving me 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 10, and then with the J values it was giving me in the reverse order, that is 10, 9, 8 in that way. So without printing the values, then I tried it with the, then I was not getting the spaces, so I was getting it only in a sequence line 1, 3, 5. It was going in the right side triangle form.
Right, I understand what you said. Did you save different versions of it, team? Next time, right, when you're doing it, save it as version 2, version 3. That
Okay.
also say how you progressed. Very good explanation what you're doing, because I've seen earlier batches presenting it. what happens, team, is only one side of the triangle comes, or the other side of the triangle comes, and so on.
Yes, so I was able to do the one side triangle, so I was not able to get the the triangle in center part. So the K for loop which I have written, this was I was missing, so I was not getting the logic for this one. So basically when I googled it, this was the logic what I found. So when I placed it in my code, so and then I got this the perfect triangles.
Okay. Do you need the breakpoints? And again, please don't mind what I'm saying is not necessarily correct, Tankunath, but just as we try and debug as a team, I want to make sure that we do it in the same way. Can you close those breakpoints and expressions, or can I control of your machine for a couple of minutes?
Yes, no problem.
Okay, great. Just requested keyboard and mouse control. Okay, great. See, now I can move. I want to close this one. We don't need this. So basically, I can see the code. For me, this window, right, the code window is the most critical. And team, what I've not shown, but what you're seeing through Tankunath's system is how we can do nested for loops. In a programming language like Java, it does not mandate certain things, but we need to make of it. So, and we are in Java, right? And so use indentation. So that way I know which part of the code is there in which under which loop. That's number one. Okay. Now let me understand this for loop. Okay. So we here now this print statement belongs where?
It is to print the space.
So all I'm doing right now is just the alignment of the code. So we have a clarity. So there are two loops, team. The first one, and I'm sorry, doing a few things here, is to print the top tree. Correct? And this part is, I'm assuming,
Yeah, this is for the the stick what we
print
see with the sequence part.
of the tree. And here I have my print statement. It's just tabbing one tab and printing that. And why one tab? But if this numbers will change, then it will be a problem. Example. But then this is a great start code team. And this is where we need to understand. Is this print statement under this J? So let us use the curl bracket. This is not Python team where we say, oh, only one statement under for. Let us use only one. We don't need this braces. Always use it. Always. The reason is if you have one statement, also very rarely you'll have one statement in it. And the second is it is not easy to read also through team. Now, this is what I'm thinking. I don't know where this belongs to. Okay, so now what I'll do, I'm going to copy this. I hope I copied it. Can you do a control C, please? Copy, I got it. And here I'll create a new Java class. And we'll call it, what were you calling it earlier?
Assignment.
Underscore. I'll just put 2 for now. Fine. Okay, Control A, Control V. And let's change the class name. So that way at least what you've written and works correct now is there. But what I gave team, but at least it's correct. It's matching with the class name. All right, let's rerun this now. And thank you, team. Though I did not share the code, that you're trying it, you're seeing the videos and doing it at your end. Okay, which all didn't I save? 1 second. I want to run only this one. So run as application. Yeah, it worked. Now, see, from a perspective of viewing, right? That was the only confusion. Let us say I put this in here. I don't know what this would do. Will it mess up the code or not? Let's see. Can I check this box, team?
Yeah.
Okay, next time. So see that primarily did not give us what we wanted, team. But everything was look at the output difference by where one print statement changed. So everything is perfect with this code. I don't see anything wrong. Just that from what we had. Hello. Okay, yeah. Here, no. Why I? Oh, okay, 1 second. Did it change here already? Did I save it? I think I did. So that's why it has that version. So it's just the curl brackets that I added. Made sure that we know which one is part of which one. Sorry, team, I had to go on mute. Now, can I show you all in a debug mode how this is happening, everyone? Let's put a break on this. So now, okay, let's undo our mistake first. So this is, and then we will also understand what is happening at the same time, all of us. And just let you know, I'm taking one of our members systems to show you this right now. So one for loop, I put a breakpoint on line 7. Now let's save them. This is mine and do a debug run. Right, I'm gonna do a step into team, or it's just let's do a step into. So it's come. What is it doing? The first one is a for loop with I. So this curl bracket on line 7 and the line and the one that Eclipse is helping us to identify on line 16. Team, all of these are very important concepts. So please be very focused on what we're doing and repeat it. All right. Any questions so far? Okay, that's one. Second is that we are repeating this about starting with 0 less than 10. How many times would that be? Tell me, everyone. Start 0 less than 10. Wait, hold on, Tankunad. You don't say, otherwise everyone will follow your answer. In the chat, I'll look at. I'm sorry, team. I had a lot of cough. Everyone's cough. Everything okay there for you? It seems to be, or I don't know. If it was cough. Okay, so team, it's so again. We seem you're making those simple mistakes. If you count with 0 at the beginning and end with 10, how many will you get? I mean, end with 9. Sorry. You'll get 10, team. It's not 9s. Count, right? If you count with 1 and end with 10, you'll get 10. Your count is starting from 0 up here. Right, so that's your first one. I'm sorry. For int I equals 0, this is going to repeat 10 times. And team, please write English with I, and since it's a variable, I'll say I here, starting from 0. Is that good? There's no confusion when I go back and look at my code or to explain to someone how my code is done. Great. Comments are absolutely good, team. Please try and maintain them. That will help us. And when we write, also write into good projects and so on, comments is something that are appreciated. So please do those. Next one, again, how many times? 10 times. I'm sorry, team. My throat is acting crazy. It's not dry, hopefully. And this is arbitrary. So what does that mean? It's based on 2 star I plus 1. Each time I will have a value, and depending on that, how many stars will I print? And see, the number that is there that we're printing is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. What are they? All odd numbers. So if you put that 2 star 1 plus 2 star I plus 1. Now, team, focus with me for a second. In this loop, we will do it ourselves first, and then we are having the Java program do it for us. I is 0. What will come out here? I 0. 2 into 0 is 0 plus 1. So then I'll print only 1 star. Okay, great. Next time I is 1. Then how many times will I print? 2 into 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. I'll print 3 of these, one after the other. And see, it is print here, no print ln. So print ln will print into a new line. Print will just print once. After we have done these two, then we'll get out. So this print spaces, just commenting team, and sorry, print the stars. So that's what we're doing here. And then we're printing ln and then the. So this is doing a tab and up to 5 rows it's doing. So the only challenge is if I change this to some other numbers, it may not look great, but let's only continue to run with this. We're already in the debug. I'm going to do a step in 2. Where is my debug view? Not here. If you can click here, you'll get into debug views. Is it running? Let's type in please. It says debug view 22. Maybe you changed the debug view, right? Okay, another 2 minutes here. I have a couple more members that I'll want to see this exercise or assignment, and then we'll move forward. But anyone saying I'm lost here? Like Karthik, I'm not following what's happening. And no one else can see your comments, team. So please be as open as you can. Try to close everything and make sure that I open this. Whenever I have an issue, team, I'll step back, clear up my things. And so how is this coming already? Let's run it first. Let's see how it runs. Very nice. So now we're doing a debug run. I already have a breakpoint on line 7. Hit the debug key. Switch to this perspective. I'm not able to see. Let me maximize my screen. I just want to see the variables. There you go. So variables is nothing but a widget, team, within our view. How we can view it can be independent like this. You can move it around also, or club it and say that I want to view. So you can kind of manage with what's happening around it, team. So let's do a step into. So now what happens is we will see I getting created. I is 0. So we're going to watch both of it, team. So J is now is 0, but it'll print a space. How many spaces will it print, team? Starting with 0 till 10 minus I. So it'll print the first time 10, then it'll print up to 9, and so on. So it'll reduce the number of spaces. Very good, brilliant code, Pankuna.
Thank you.
So now see, next, printing spaces, we're not actually. Let's step forward. Come on. Okay. So this is J is 1. Now J is 2. It's printing spaces as of now. One space at a time. You're not seeing it, but it's definitely coming here. See, now we see so many. Now we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll print one of this or something else. Then it'll go to the for loop. It's printing more. Now see, now I'll select, it'll have more. It was earlier, the cursor was here, near ease, under ease. Now it is still my. So it's printing. After it's done with this, it will go into the next one. See? Now it will start printing stars. How many stars? 1 star the first time. See? Second time, then it will go back and start printing all the spaces. Okay, then 2 stars. 3 stars. Then little fewer spaces, more stars. See how it's doing, T? One step at a time. Oops, my mouse moved somewhere. So each time, each step, you're seeing it getting executed. Notice this? So that's how we know it's working. Now this is good. And complete it and print the whole thing. Oh, it's hitting the breakpoint. So each one, each line it's printing. So when I say resume, sorry. This is nice, very nice. See, these both are equivalent for loops. One for loop, under that there's for loop 1, for loop 2. Not 3 for loops indented. So we keep this little indentation that will help us. Great job. I was happy because I could see this whole thing again. Thank you, Kunal. Great job. And all I did was only put some spaces and comments. Your code was very nice.
Thank you.
Can I show everyone that how the code may fail? If I say this is 20 and I make this 20 maybe, and I rerun this code. So it will not handle that situation. So in this case, see how it happens? This number, and what you have to do, Karsana, is this number is starting with 5 or somewhere, right? Tab, right? This tab is hard coded for you. You need almost half of this number. Spaces. Those many spaces you need. So that's where a little bit more variables. Great, thank you so much. All right, team, where are the other two hands? Thank you, good job. Okay, Uma, coming to you. I'm gonna go back on mute. Thank you. Hi, Uma.
Hi, Karthik. You're able to see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And just, do you want me to run this first or?
Sure. No, actually, either way is fine, actually.
Okay, this is my output.
Okay, nice.
And I'll just show the code.
Oh, nice. String S is star. See the line 17 on top and even line 5. Everything defined in one place. And line 7, since you now I can change the star to a dollar or a dot or a character with one change. So that's a good one.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah, this the first 3 fars are for the tree, and the down part here is for the stem. For now, I didn't. I've assigned the value I as 6 because I know it is 6 spaces. I think I have to generalize there to work for any kind of numbers you give.
Sure. So, can you walk us through the code?
Sure.
Is it similar one?
It is, yes, kind of similar one, but I'm just using the odd numbers like 1, 3, 5, 11. So I just made my increments to be I equal to I plus 2. I didn't go for I plus plus because the tree, so in 2 increments, yeah. So just it has 1 star and then 3 and then 5, 7, and it goes on like that.
Oh, got it. So
Yeah.
this is a logic team, if you look at it, is so that would be okay. Please keep going, Uma.
Yeah. So I is the main loop and K is where I print my star, which gives me the increment, like how many spaces I have to leave before printing the star. So I'm using the print and then I'm printing it here.
Okay, 1 second. So on line 18, you're printing space.
Mm-hmm.
And on line 16, this is actually decrementing, correct?
Yes, it is.
So team, observe this. K equals to 11. So that is my starting position. I keep repeating this until K is greater than or equal to I, which can be 1 or 2 or 3 till 11. And each time I'm doing K equals K minus 2. That means I'm reducing it by 2 more spaces there. Or yes, to print.
Yeah, I'm just using the print to print the space. And then I'm using a variable J again with an I to print the number of stars there, using a print again, because I want to print it in the same line. And then I go to the println to go to a different line, and this loops back till I get the tree, the triangle.
So this line 25 prints 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars, correct?
It prints how many hour value the I takes. It can be 1, 3, 5.
Got it. I
Yeah.
was thinking is got it. So on line 23, j is equal to 1 and j is less than or equal to I. First time it will be 1. So it will print 1. Second time it will be 2.
3.
Oh yeah, 3. Just go up a little bit.
Sure.
Team, are you all trying to understand what we're doing here? The same thing I was saying, how we should be able to try and read the code. And I want more participants to be able to write code and show up, please, in the next sessions. I know not many of you are in the Skype groups or in the live sessions, but at least when you're watching the videos, please participate this way. Sorry, I deviated. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the I will become 3 here because I'm incrementing it by +2. So till the number, it will print that many stars. And the third one, it will become 5. So it prints 5 stars there. And it goes on till it is 11 because that's a maximum I have given the number.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
And this one, it's for the stem back. So I used the same variable. I know there has to be 4 star. That is my first for loop here. And this one, like I couldn't generalize it. So I know it has to go 6 spaces. I didn't know the slash tab. I saw it in Tumkna. I'm just figuring it out. Like I could have used that too. So I'm just printing the number of spaces and printing the star again there.
Sure. So team, basically what this exercise would do for us is understand a little bit more about for, while, and how things work with the team. Not while, but till the first statements. 1 second, sorry. So loud. In 1 second's local number. Sorry, local number, I'm always concerned, but that's right. Congratulations, you've been selected for, I don't know, higher or something, some of the. Okay, so where are we? Very good. The only thing that I still want you team, great start. And because I just gave it yesterday and we could do this, I'm not at all demotivating you. I want you all to take it one step further, please. Everyone is working. And Uma, and
Yeah,
you definitely, is to parameterize this. What if I want to print a bigger tree?
got it.
What if I want, yeah, like it's, you know, and what if I want my tree to be big in top and small on bottom?
Yeah, sure. I have to generalize that.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm not putting on you also, Uma, just you. I want everyone to give it that attempt. But I really liked your comments, your spacing, your indents. It gives a lot of clarity also on that.
Okay.
That is how we should all write, team. Let us learn that it should be easy for everyone to understand. Then we will delete later as new versions come. We will delete all that old comments and unnecessary text in it. But to begin with, let it be with as much text as possible. Okay. So next assignment team, let's work on those.
Thank you, Karthik.
But this is good job, team. See, it was, I think, very few minutes at the end of the session I mentioned, and we could produce such results. So this is good job. Can I look at anyone else who's doing something similar, or shall we move on with maybe a few more minutes on a training? Thank you, Uma.
Thanks, Karthik.
Yeah, I know, Bhargavi, we did this with in Python, and okay, sure. If you want to show it, I would love you to show it. But Shilpa has a hand raised, but let me make a presenter first. So team, I'll finish these today. I think it's good to also see what others are doing, everyone else offer. And then tomorrow I'll take up the other topic because I have run the session after. Hi, Shilpa.
Hi, Karthik. Able to see my screen? Yeah.
Yes.
So I think Tamkunath's logic and my logic somewhat similar. So first thing I did was I typed the star, then I counted the spaces. So if I start from here, there are 3 spaces, and then then there is 1 star. So in the first iteration, I typed it, there are 3 spaces, and my J is the J is what is my printing star. So 1 star. Then there are 2 stars, and then sorry, there are 2 spaces, and then there are 3 stars. So I counted all of them, and my first for loop is printing the spaces, and my second for loop is printing the stars. And now to get I did this table to get a relation between my I and my space. So if you see for the first iteration, my I is 1, then I need to print 3 spaces. So if I do rows minus I, then I get that number. So I put on the condition as my S is less than number of lines minus I. S is the spaces. And then for the stars, I did I wanted to find out sorry.
So team, Shilpa, can I pause you for a second? Take my interruption, please. Team, are you understanding Shilpa's logic first before we look into the code? This would have been the exact same way I would have done it myself. I may be a superstar at program, I don't care, because I need to know exactly what I need to do. This is perfect modeling, perfect, and make the option. Because see, again, we do some things in the mind. I'm not saying no, team. Be able to put it into a document or a code or a paper so that someone who's new to it can easily understand that logic is very, very important. That I really liked it. Amazing. This is brilliant.
Thank you, Karthik.
Please don't mind if I'm overpraising someone or not. I'm only trying to pick up the good things, and some things are brilliant, so I cannot miss it. So the logic is very important. See what she did. Scroll up a little bit, please. See, from line 28 to line 38 is the main thing. Okay, programming is like English after that. Should be almost, not so much, but see that I number is increasing 1, 2, 3, 4. Spaces I need 3, 2, 1, 0. That means yes. 4 minus I, 4 minus I, 4 minus I. That's a great working formula. Perfect. Now, how many stars do I need? I need 1 star, 3 star, 5 star, 7 stars. That means 2 star I, 2 star.
I star 2 minus 1. So 1 into 2 is 2.
Next one will be into
2 into 2 is 4.
So
yeah, 2 is a 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 stars.
Line 35, that should be I.
Yes, yes.
Line 35, 37, the first one.
Yes. It is I, yes.
Can you change them right away, please? I'm sorry, I'm also a tester at the end of the day. So
yes. What is
good. 1357. That will be the output. You understood, team? I'll get 3210 spaces. I'll get 1357 stars with that formula or formula. Yes. Now comes my iteration. Go up again. We'll still focus on that. Okay, see. The first column is I. That is one loop. The next column is the spaces. That is another loop. Followed by this stars, another loop. And then next line. So that is how we should represent also. So team, what I'm saying is not, some of us, we know it and we can put it in our mind and start coding. But for some of us who cannot immediately visualize what we're doing, I would put it here. Even if I get such a problem, be it in an interview or as a project, I'll first put it in a paper like this. this did not have to be commented and put it into the code. But I'm sorry, 1 second. Shilpa put it in the code so that we can also see it as comments as to the approach, as to how we went about the logic. Great. Now explain the code to us, please, once again.
Yes. For the spaces, I needed to find a relation between I and the space, I table and the space table. So it is number of rows. I have taken one more variable for number of rows. So here I can change my number of lines anytime. So for now, I'm assuming I'm taking it as number 4. So I'm to find out the relation, I'm subtracting number of rows minus I for printing out the spaces. So this is my first for loop, and then I'm using that condition over here, number of lines minus I, and then I print the spaces over here. Then for the stars, to get a relation between now I and the J or the stars, I used this formula I star 2 minus 1, which gives me the exact number of the stars, and I used that condition in my for loop, which is this I star 2 minus 1 over here, and then I print the stars, and outside this for loop, this println statement to get it on the next lines. And this is the last for loop I used. Again, I need to be more specific, as you said, that find a midpoint and print it. But for now, it is just counting the spaces and sorry, first was my I actually started with this. I tried to print the whole box of the stars, and then slowly I came to this. So
very nice, excellent. But I actually, in all the assignments, I didn't see that shape. You should give me that logic for how you got the square shape. But see, team, you cannot enjoy programming if you don't laugh at yourself for such things. Okay, I'm not laughing at Shilpa. I'm laughing at ourselves. Like, you know, it's amazing to see such nice coding. Very nice.
Thank you.
And team, we're in the 4th session and we haven't learned much. It's just whatever we're learning, we're trying to apply in small things and the way we're naming and so on. And anyone who's thinking, oops, you know what, I think it's going into a fast track. No, don't. It's going into a regular one. We're going bit by bit. Participate or go back, watch the videos and see again. So, you go up, scroll up, please, over these comments where that code is coming the other one. See, this is called experimenting, team, playing around. Keep that code now, what you have earlier, comment it. Don't delete your old code, team. Just comment it, because you know sometimes you want to show also how, and all this you're showing, right, team, whatever you're doing is nothing but also preparing yourself for how we can talk or present ourselves in an interview. This is all we talk about, our skills, correct? Projects are skills. So good job.
Thank you.
Very happy to see this. I didn't expect that I'll get to see an approach. That approach was very nice. It is a foolproof approach, team. When we get a logic or algorithm, first, how do we do it as humans? How can I put it? Then let us put some small, how is it incrementing? Very, very nice. That was good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to Tamkunar, Uma. I was just progressing through this for that fantastic job. So team, I think we have primarily got most of it, the gist of it, as to how we could do this. Small print in Java, logic being important. Bhargavi, I made you a presenter. I thought you might wanted to show the one with Python. So team, we were also doing a few Python sessions. We did some of these programs earlier. And we have this done in a Python programming. If you do not know Python, do not worry too much. It is just a little different type of English. It's all English, team. They'll not ask you to, code in a different language. It's just how it is structured. There are no curl brackets, and here indents are important. Shilpa, I saw one issue in your code. Can I make you a presenter back for a quick second?
Sure, sure.
I forgot because you were speaking so well, didn't want to interrupt. Okay, see, in your code, scroll up, scroll down here. Okay. So here's the question. Line 46 to 48 has one indent. Correct?
Yes, yes, yes.
Why is line 50 to 53 in a different indent and 55 also different? Are they part of the earlier for loop?
No, these two for loops are different.
So this indent scheme, we have to use it cautiously. We have to look at it vertically. So if I can take your mouse for a quick second.
Sure.
So see team, if earlier I thought maybe this fur was inside this fur. I know this fur is inside this fur, and that's why I indented this. This is also inside this. Now this cannot be here. Java does not restrict you. It does not say anything. It can also be here. That's fine. But we have to keep that in mind, team. Where is my for loop? Here. It starts here, it ends here. For in the same line. This is at the end, this is at the end. This, all statements have to be in the same line starting. Now this is inside, so this have to be here. Okay. These are not rules, but good practice. And once we make good practice as rules, then it's awesome.
Sure, Karthik, I'll keep that in mind.
Okay. So just as we going, for our visually also, I should know which is within which for loop. Oh, okay, one for loop for all of this. And
Yeah.
here also, please. And team, none of these Java will restrict or anyone will restrict. They'll only focus on how efficient will it work. Okay, get projects and so on. I want to emphasize, and it's hardly few more seconds for each of us, and we'll do a better job overall. Thank you. Okay, sorry, Bhargavi, I deviated too long. Back to you.
Hello.
Are you able to speak?
Hi, Karthik.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. So as Karthik said, Python language, it's written in Python language, but still I just wanted to show how we can parameterize. I took the inputs from the user, like what will be the height and width. Width is basically, width is this particular number of stars. And I did not include space, but I can include that space too. And the height is this one, like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So it's like height and weight, width parameters are being given by user, and I'm going to display the tree starting from 1 till half the height in the as per the height and width parameters. For example, if I run, it will be a clear idea. Like enter the height. If I enter like 15 and the width like some 11, so it's like height is like being divided by 2 and width is also by 2, so that we'll have a clarity like what will be the first half of the rows and what are and the below one is always one tree, I mean like one star, because it's the trunk of the tree is always a single star. So I'll make it a half, even the height and even the width is been made into half, so that the bottom of the tree is at the center, and from center of the tree I'll start displaying from 1 3 5 and such. And coming to the display, I made it into 2 for loops. First for loop, this for loop is for displaying the first half, and the second for loop is to display the bottom of the tree. So I counted the spaces here, and character character is the star I took, and spaces. This is going whenever I say console. So spaces, these are the spaces. I divide whatever the measure I got, like half of the width. Example, I took the 9 as width, and 9 by 2 is definitely 4 plus. So I made the 5 spaces to be displayed initially, and then I incremented the count every time as we go to the next row. And second half is like I'm not concentrating much because it's by default spaces. So I did not concentrate on the second half. Like after stars, the execution will be going to the next row. Karthik, was that clear or?
Yes, and one of the difference here, team, in Python versus Java is, example, line 51, when you see print space count to star space character, it will type that character so many times. So we don't have that. So we have to put that also into a for loop. So in Java, we had to have too many for loops. In Python, if you see, there are only 2 for loops, because we can, in the print statement, even line 43, whatever character we want, we can print that in one line, that number of times. So that was the little advantage. And a lot of major advantages that Python has got in terms of reducing the code size. We can program a lot in fewer lines of code. But then efficiency wise, I mean, debatable. I'm not a expert on it to comment. I like both of them, team. I can't say no to either. But it's tough sometimes to remember this. Trust your programming instincts and a little bit of Googling around as well as we keep going through the journey. See, all the sessions that we're doing is basically laying your foundation, team. So practice along with it. Even if you watch videos, just practice on the side. Not while it's live, but that's what will give us a little bit more hands-on. So team, so Bhargavi, can we change the inputs and see now? Works?
Sure, Karthik.
So it's trying to parameterize it further, team, and figure out how to capture inputs like this in Java. System.out.println is taking our output into the console. How can we capture input? We discuss on them, one after the other. Can you scroll up to the top of your code, please? Just walk through once. I just want everyone to see it generally.
Sure, Karthik. So
yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Karthik. Please go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Bhargavi, your code. You should do it. Just explain.
Okay.
Code specifically, please.
Sure. So basically, what I'm not sure if the user wants the height as a main parameter or the width as a main parameter. So if height is satisfied, sometimes width is not satisfied, and if width is satisfied, height is not satisfied. So I made a if condition so initially so that the user will be knowing what will be the display kind. For example, if I take the height as a primary thing, and if I input like 5, like much difference, like 11 and 5. So this tree looks a little different to the user, and user might not be satisfied. So what my condition is, the tree is displayed based upon the width, because he has entered a much very less width. So I took width as a primary parameter here. So tree is displayed based upon the width entered, and height criteria can or cannot be satisfied. Because if it's 11, but the number of rows displayed are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 8 rows are being displayed. So always both the conditions cannot be displayed where the difference between the height parameter and width parameter is much more greater, like at least greater than 3 and greater. Sometimes it's not. I tried in many ways, but I couldn't make it further. So I thought I'll take a break. because really, I tried for more than 2 days, Karthik.
And that's it. Don't go beyond that, because
Yeah.
is not to create the best Christmas tree Java program with
Yeah.
everything. Just to get the logic that how do these work, where can I
Uh-huh.
put, and how do they flow. We should be comfortable, team. Think of us like carpenters. We need to know our screwdrivers, spanners, and everything. What to use when. We need to know our tools, and this is what it is. So very good.
So
But
go ahead, Karthik.
yes, why are you saying something?
Yeah, so that was for the first if conditions, like what this particular. I'm stressing on this because that was my only drawback with my code. So I thought I'll explain that first, and then you'll have a idea like why my trees are why this if condition is being mentioned in the first part of my code. And
Sure.
coming to the second one. As I said, parameters are being divided by 2 so that I'll come to know what is the number of spaces I should display and what is the number of rows. And I made like tree half size and tree half size depending upon if it's odd number or even number. Sometimes
Wow.
the will be because I leave it clearly like we should enter an even integer value, but sometimes it will not always the user is going to focus on that. So I thought I'll also make a condition for that too. And so I'm
the line 14 team that you're seeing is kind of called a moduli, where if I divide it by 2, if there is no decimals or leftover in the division, it's a perfect division, then we will do execute that if statement. So there should be no other difference. Moduli will give. So it's like if I divide 11 by 2, it will come out as 1. So it's odd number. If you 10 by 3, again it will come out as 1. So, okay, anyways. All right, keep going. There's no end to this. So, I will another minute. So, Bhargavi,
yeah,
thank you much. So,
yeah, sure,
just
Karthik.
a little bit more. I just want to go up once and just guide me. So, we're taking input stream in the first few lines and we're converting them into integers, height and width. And then we are kind of conceptualizing as to what we have to do in the initialize to determine the tree height, to determine the tree width. See, what I'm doing right now is I'm reading the comments almost. Okay, I'm not reading the code because I'm in a hurry, and sometimes that is what it helps to. Okay, so now keep scrolling down. So all this is done earlier, and then we're starting the print, is it? From row 40, the line 40?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes,
wow.
yes.
See.
Because once the width and height are being parameterized as per even and odd integers, then we'll know the numbers, like how many lines it should go. Because we are parameterizing, we are not hard coding anything. So I thought I'll focus much on this if conditions and fix the tree width and tree height. And then my code from here, like how many spaces, how many characters. By this way, I can even change it to from star sometimes to at the rate, and spaces can also be interchanged. Like if I want space, I can let it be there, and other things are also can be we can change it here. And character count is like for the first row, it's like only one character, and it keeps on increasing by 2 because it's the kind of 1, 3, 5 kind of display.
Nice. Bhargavi, do us a favor. Please put this code also in the Code Java group, please.
Sure, Karthik.
And try and
Sure.
see it in Java.
Sure, Karthik. Even I tried if.
Yeah, even if you don't understand Python, just look at what it is trying to say from an English perspective. And then put back your codes there. All right?
Sure, Karthik.
Thank you, everyone. Team, I need to run for another one. Can I see you all then tomorrow? We'll continue from where we left. Actually, I didn't do any training today.
Sorry, Karthik. Even I was like, once you said parameterize, I thought I'll like show how to parameterize. Of course, we don't have input kind.
That's logically how we have to do things. So
Yeah.
I'm hopeful that everyone is getting a perspective, and now we'll go faster. We'll keep having this interactive session. It's always good. I like it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Karthik.
For the session, and I'll see you all in the Python session starting soon. Bye then.
Sure, Karthik. Bye.